we always like to start out and see the formation because this is important as to how we're going to officiate. Crew of 5, look where the line of scrimmage is. Line of scrimmage is at the 9. So, depending on your mechanics, a lot of times, a lot of mechanics across the country, you would have the officials on the line of scrimmage, with only 5 officials, going to the line of scrimmage, going to the goal line when the line of scrimmage is inside the 10. So this is one where the back judge is most likely in a 5-person is not going to have the goal line. So it's something to consider. Now, you can see you've got basically 2 receivers on either side. So a balanced formation. And one of the things that we have our antennas up for when we're close to the goal line is OPI, because it's going to happen either in short yardage situations or near the goal line. Well, right now, we're looking at it, and I don't see any potential OPI right off the bat because there are no competitive matchups at the snap. So this is I think when you're doing film review, this is how you should always walk through every play because it gets your mind ready to officiate if this play were to happen in your game. You've already gone through the mental process. So now we know the formation. We know where we're going. We're probably going to go to zone with our 2 line of scrimmage officials and the back judge, and hopefully our line of scrimmage officials will be moving to the goal line at the snap. Our referee and our umpire look in pretty good position. Now, as this play goes, you can see a motion man. Everything looks legal, and we've got a clean snap, and it looks like everybody's off the line. Now look at the quarterback and watch what the quarterback does, and I want you to watch what the referee does. You see how the referee takes a step up and is moving all around. We're going to get to that here in a minute. Now you can see there's a pass, and we don't really have anybody at the goal line, and I'm kind of unsure what is happening. All right, I did see a flag. So now the line judge gives some sort of signal, and our referee comes up and now signals holding. Okay, we got holding. All right, so here's a couple of things. We go back to the play. So right now, when the ball is snapped, our line of scrimmage officials should be moving towards the goal line. And if your mechanics don't have that, if they say 7 or something, which I don't believe, most 5-person mechanic sets have the line of scrimmage officials at least moving towards the goal line in some fashion. You need to be thinking that. You can see there's nobody at the goal line. And here's the thing that is contradicting. We talk about pause, read, and react a lot, and you're going to see a play later about that. But when the goal line comes in play, we kind of take some of our mechanics and throw them out. Fair or unfair, we give the goal line a little bit more of a priority than we would per se in normal situations where we'd want to hold the line. So that's where the points are scored. So I don't see anybody there. Now, our referee's movement, I'm not sure stepping up in this situation is the best move for a referee. Because you can look, you've got potentially 2 blocks that we're going to be focusing in on. You've got the tackle to the right and maybe the tackle to the left. And I don't think this referee can see either. And here's the thing. We talk a lot here about officiating error, okay? If you're going to watch a quarterback hold the ball, you're officiating error. There's nobody threatening that quarterback right now. That quarterback is not your primary. You watch the blocks as the referee to take you to that quarterback, which then becomes your primary when there's contact. Can you see me you guys are probably getting dizzy right now. Well, that's what's happening with the referee when he's moving like that. We want to try to keep our eyes are a camera. If I would have taken my camera and shook it like I was jumping around, everyone's going to be like, I can't see anything. And that's the key here. And if I keep moving around like this, I'm not going to see these blocks. I'm going to have trouble focusing in. And so we would want, as a referee, initially, like if he would have just stayed going back, he's roughly about, maybe he's a little bit close. He's at 12, maybe a little bit further back. And then that way, you don't have to move. You just hold it and everything goes in front of you, and you're able to lock your eyes in, and you're not moving your body like this and coming in and out, and then not being able maybe to see anything. So that's the first thing for referees in the room. You want to try to find a position where you feel comfortable, where you're going to require the least amount of movement. So now like I said, we've talked about the referee, and looks like there's a hold here in the middle that's called. It's hard to see maybe right there by the umpire. But as you can see, the referee is kind of getting the wobbly feet. Now, the second part of this, all right, we need to know what's happening here because there's a lot of things going on. We had a potential flag. We don't know. I said holding. I don't know. That was a guess. That was an assumption by my part. It could be something else. And this line judge isn't the one who threw the flag. And there's Bill and I and other officials and on MIBT here have had the discussion about if you know that if you were the line judge and you threw your flag and you knew that play was coming back, you don't go up touchdown. I disagree because I think there's clock status in there. But in regard to this, we don't know if this was a completed pass, an incomplete pass, touchdown, we don't know. And once again, it's very important that everybody knows we're not trying to bag on these officials, okay? We're trying to get better, and we're using their positioning and movement for us to improve. But in the end, I think if they saw this, they'd probably be the same thing. They'd probably want to do it a little bit different because going back to this play, I have absolutely no idea what we have. And then as it rolls through, you could see he comes and talks to the line judge and the back judge talk. I'm not exactly sure. He looks like he's pointing down, and then he goes in touchdown or incomplete. And so that's the other thing. It's like he goes like this and then like this. I don't know what that means. Now, if we have an 0-2-0, maybe we can communicate that a little bit better. So that's where it's important for us as officials to continue the play, even if we have a flag. Even if you are in the camp that you're not going to go up touchdown, you're just going to communicate it, fine. But we have to continue to officiate this play because we don't know what the flag was from the umpire. We can assume it was holding, but in the end, what if on this one, this is a perfect example. I'm going to go back. Let's say right there, instead of a hold, he had the defense tripping, okay, for whatever reason. He called a trip. Now, that's a whole different set based off of what happens here. If this is a touchdown and that is a defensive penalty, they have options. If it's not a touchdown, the options are going to be different. So that's why it is important to continue to officiate.